Welcome to Brownish Parenting with Dr. Amita, where we explore the real and raw experiences of South Asian American parents raising their bicultural children. Today, we want to explore how external confidence often gets mistaken for happiness and the impact that beauty culture really has on our children in helping them develop inner self esteem and confidence that lasts. So, first, let's talk about the difference between what is self esteem and what is confidence. So, self esteem is really how much you value yourself, it's your overall sense of self worth. It's believing that you're lovable, you're worthy, and that you're enough just as you are. So, even when you're not performing or achieving, right? So, self esteem tends to be more internal and stable over time. So, an example of this is a child with healthy self esteem knows that they're a good person, even if they didn't win that game or ace that test. So, now let's talk about confidence. So, confidence is how much you believe in your ability to do something. So, it's more task specific. So, you might be confident in math, but not so much at public speaking. But it can grow with practice and experience. So confidence is often external and based on the situation that you're in. So an example of this would be a teen might be more confident in playing piano because they've practiced it for years and years, but they may struggle with low self-esteem if they don't feel accepted or liked by their peers. So, why does this difference really matter? Well, someone can be very confident but have low self esteem. So, many South Asian American children who are high achievers, right, they still feel like they're not good enough inside, even though they're high achieving and doing really well. Now, someone with high self esteem might also lack confidence in a skill, but that doesn't really shake their self worth. They just know that they might have to develop it. When we think about external versus internal confidence, what exactly is that difference? So, with external confidence, it's based on how you look, it can be what you achieve, how others react to you. It's when a child feels good because they got straight A's, they're complimented on their outfit, or they're getting a lot of likes on a post. So, these are all outside markers of approval. Now, internal confidence, that on the other hand, really is rooted in who you believe you are. So it's when no one's watching or applauding. It comes from things like having a strong sense of self, knowing your own values, believing that you are capable, and feeling resilient even when things go wrong. So, why is relying on external confidence harmful for kids? Well, kids are relying on external confidence, and that means that they may constantly be seeking validation externally from others, right? They're looking at their peers for validation, they're looking at their teachers, they're looking at their social media likes. And so their self worth becomes really fragile because it's based on external reactions to who they are. And if they don't get praise, they don't get attention, their confidence can come crashing down. Now, they may fear failure, they may avoid taking risks because they only really feel valuable when they're successful at doing something. This is also a time period where body image issues can come into play, especially in a culture of comparison when we think about having early exposure to certain beauty standards. This is what psychologists call a performance based identity. So, this is where kids only feel good when they're performing, when they're perfect, or when they're pleasing others. Today, we will be talking about how parents can build self concept, self esteem, and inner confidence. Because external confidence might win that applause, but inner confidence is going to build a life for our children. So, as parents, our job isn't to perfect our children, but to guide them back to themselves again and again. So, today we want to talk about these concepts with Nethra, a supermodel, an actress, an entrepreneur, a speaker, and above all, a wife, mother, and human being. What makes this conversation so powerful is Nethra's deep belief in radical acceptance, a concept she credits with helping her reclaim her self worth after years of anxiety, burnout, and self doubt. And in today's world, where even school age kids are comparing themselves with these filtered selfies or Sephora hauls, her story couldn't be more relevant. Nethra has noted that her true evolution came off camera. And as she puts it in quotes, in spite of all the successes that came my way, something profound kept limiting my growth. The highs, the lows of a profession in front of a camera made anxiety rush in, bringing with it self doubt and the slow unraveling of my personal well being. I became a shell of who I was meant to be. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to get to meet Nethra. Welcome back. Today's episode is such a treat. We're speaking with Nethra Raghuraman, a supermodel, actress, entrepreneur, speaker, and above all, a wife, mother, and human being. She was the winner of Look of the Year for Femina in 1997 and went on to win Best Female Newcomer at the Star Screen Awards in 2000. You've seen her in unforgettable films like Thak Shak and Popol Express. And now you'll hear her candidly speaking about the emotional toll of a life in front of a camera and how she rebuilt herself from the inside out. What changed everything was surrendering to radical acceptance, a practice that allowed for her to let go of the perfection, trust in her journey, and embrace her true self. Mitra, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you here. And I'd love for the listeners to just get an understanding of your journey, how you got into this field as an actress and fashion model.
All right. To
Yeah.
start with, Amita, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. And to answer the question, it's especially it's quite ironic, especially because we are going to be talking so much about
Hmm.
esteem, and self-worth and building of
Yeah.
self. Funnily, the reason I got into this
Hmm.
was because I had very low self-worth. I was just too tall a person in a
Yeah.
city where everybody around me was much shorter.
Interesting.
And it's just you come from such a small town, and
Yeah.
I was never well traveled, and I had really barely left Baroda, where I grew up, which is
Hmm.
now called Vadodara in India.
Yeah.
And the only places I used to visit were where my family lived, which was either you went to Hyderabad or you went
Hmm.
to uh, Bangalore.
Mm.
And then you just
Yeah.
stayed at home, you just met them. It's not like we were well traveled or anything. So
Yeah.
you don't realize the concept of there are different kinds of people across the world.
Yeah.
And height is really not that much of an issue.
Yeah.
So I used to keep complaining to my mother all the
Uh-huh.
time about how I'm just too tall.
Yeah.
And I would keep saying that, look, I'm just too tall, and there's like
Hmm.
I'll never find a guy because everybody is way shorter than me. And
Hmm.
it's complex that children get.
Yeah.
I see it in my daughter because she's again a tall kid, and
Mm.
you start bending down to talk to the people.
Yeah.
With her, I keep saying straighten up. In my case, my mom used to say straighten up, but it's not
Uh-huh.
like they saw you that much with your friends and stuff those
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was that. And my mom would keep telling
Yeah.
me that, Netra, you don't realize that one of the God-given things that you cannot do much about is
Uh-huh.
height. You
Yeah.
can gain weight,
It's
lose
true.
weight, but there are certain things that's
Hmm.
God-given that cannot really change much. And she's like, it's a good thing for you, and you'll see it at some point. I used to
Yeah.
keep saying, what do people do with height? What do people do with height? Like, it's not much you can do with your height. And school tried basketball. They discovered I
Uh,
have hand-eye coordination issues, so that went
okay.
out the window.
Yeah.
And then, of course, just so happened that there was an ad for the elite model look, which is at that time
Hmm.
called Look of the Year. And Times of India, which was this really big organization,
Hmm.
used to have just two contests a year, Miss India, which is still going on, and this
Yeah.
contest.
Oh.
And they had put up an ad for it.
Hmm.
And a few weeks prior to that, when I was talking to my mom for the nth time,
Yeah.
and mom, in her eternal patience, was answering me back still
Uh-huh.
patiently. The TV was on behind her, and the TV had this model who, since then, I got to know very well.
Oh.
This fabulous Indian model, like with like curly hair and all,
Yeah.
walking around the camp. And I just didn't know her much or anything. Like I
Hmm.
wasn't a fashion follower, so I didn't know
Yeah.
anything about fashion.
Hmm.
It's just I saw her and I said, Mama, that's what people do when they're tall.
Yeah.
My mom looked behind, saw the TV, and she said, so what's wrong with that? And I was like, I started laughing. I'm like, she's a model.
Yeah.
My mother was like, yeah, I know she's a model. And she's like, what is wrong with that? And I'm looking at her because we come from such a conservative background. And
Yeah.
in
Wow.
South
That's
India, this whole idea of you would be anything beyond an engineer or a doctor or
uh,
I don't know, like a biochemist
yeah.
is
Yeah.
just so unheard of. So
Yeah.
going to the arts was unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kept staring at my mom and I just shook my head and I'm like,
Yeah.
what parents? What
Wow,
will I
that's
do?
great. She
My
was, yeah,
mom
so
just
open-minded.
showed an ad in
Uh-huh.
the newspaper. Those days, the
Yeah.
ads would come in the newspaper to apply. And she said,
Yeah.
do you want to apply for this? And I had zero idea about it, like
Mm-hmm.
zero interest in it. And I just said, yeah, sure, what the
Mm.
hell.
Yeah.
So I had the worst photographs of me at any place, which I kind of consolidated and put them in there. But
Yeah.
the idea is like you realize as time goes by that you
Mm-hmm.
can see faces that can fit the bill of how, like, you can see features, which
Yeah.
now I know to recognize. At that time, I guess they knew to recognize. So they called me in for an audition, which was hideous, hideous audition. I came back from it looking at my mom saying, I will never make it. Are you mad? Look at the girls around me. They came with full hair, full makeup, full stuff.
Oh,
And I'm like, I'm
wow.
in
Yeah.
borrowed clothes with no
Uh-huh.
makeup. And I can
Yeah.
never make it. But they chased me for a month to come
Wow.
back.
Yeah.
And because they kept saying, there's a very good chance you'll make it. There's a very good
Mm-hmm.
chance you'll make it. And long story short, after
Yeah.
that, I did turn up on a
Mm-hmm.
prayer and a luck.
Yeah.
40 days of quote unquote training later,
Uh-huh.
uh, they choose a winner, and that turned out to be me. And that's where the journey
Yay.
kick-started. So
That's
that was that.
great. Because, you talk about being in India, traveling to the cities there, like in southern India, and trying to fit in and belong and not feeling like that. And then you enter this new world. And I'm
Where I don't
wondering,
belong.
yeah, and I'm wondering how you felt about, yeah, like you found people that were your height, but how did you feel about fitting in, belonging? What did success at that time look like to you as you were rising in this field?
So, I mean, I won the contest and it
Yeah.
was great because there were about, I don't know, like 30,000 entries from India and one
Mhm.
person wins.
Yeah.
The thing is, you represent this country then in the next international contest, which was the
Hmm.
elite model look. So I went from Baroda, which is
Yeah.
where I took my first flight ever, from there, and I went straight to Nice
Oh,
to
wow.
represent the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
And they take you around, they help you shop and stuff, like they
Yeah.
think they're preparing you for the contest.
Uh-huh.
Um, but when I ended up in Nice, I
Hmm.
realized that the way I had been prepared for the contest was more like they maybe prepare the Miss Indias. And this
Hmm.
was a completely different ball
Okay.
game. Like it
Yeah.
was nothing about the whole how you dress thing was useless.
Hmm.
It was like there were girls in these micro shots and these
Oh.
cool cutoffs. And there was me in one beaded outfit looking at myself going, oh my God, I don't
Oh,
belong.
wait. Yeah.
Um, that aside, there were lots of funny stories. I mean, now
Yeah.
I can laugh about all of them.
Yeah.
Not now. And a whole
Yeah.
long time ago, I started laughing about all of those. But at
Uh-huh.
that, quite a lot of fun stories because of this geographic change.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't like they take 15 top winners from there. And I guess I was supposed to win or whatever, but it didn't fall
Hmm.
through. But they
Hmm.
still gave me a contract.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I
Hmm.
shot with Patrick DeMarchelier.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he literally picks about 10 to 12 contestants. He
Hmm.
picks and he says,
Oh.
I will shoot these girls. And they normally believe that one of them will win
Hmm.
or the 15 will place.
Hmm.
Again, like I said, lots of stories, but those aside, I got a contract with them to work with them. So they took me further I did a shoot for L'Oreal and they took me from there
Yeah.
directly to Milan. And there were
Hmm.
goof ups there too. I was supposed to be in Paris to work, but I went to Milan and the Milan agency looked at me and said, oh, she will fit. And you realize that
Yeah.
as a new model, that too,
Yeah.
because again, not traveled, no
Hmm.
backup, no person with some sort of time spent in this industry who could maybe like
Yeah.
mentor you or talk to you or tell you things.
Hmm. Yeah.
Not everybody was like me. I was like me. So they just kind of dumped me in Milan. And
Yeah.
Milan, this grunge look going on those days. And I didn't even know the word. I
Yeah.
hear my 10-year-old daughter talk about grunge now.
Yeah. And you were like,
I'm
everyone
like,
was really different. Yeah.
I just didn't get grunge. I didn't know what
Yeah.
grunge was. When I
Yeah.
saw it, I was like, why do you make a good-looking person look
Hmm.
ugly?
Yeah.
Put them on their own. I'm like, why are you making everyone look ugly?
That's
Like, I
funny.
just didn't get it.
Yeah.
But anyways, there was grunge going on and stuff, and I had lots of funny stories.
Uh-huh.
Constantly feeling though that I didn't belong. I didn't belong
Hmm.
because you're this little uh person. It lacks. It's basically you needed to be better traveled.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
big thing that our children get now that very
Hmm.
few people those days got.
That's
You
true.
needed to have seen the world to a large extent to be able
Hmm.
to just blend in and fit.
And
So this was
understand.
then.
Yeah.
I was there for a few months, and then my visa ran out, and I was so glad to come back to
Yeah.
India.
Hmm.
And they said, come back I'm supposed to have come back to India, turned around and gone back, but I never
Yeah.
left. I was so
Yeah.
freaked out. I came right back and I stayed right put in India.
Hmm.
It was very hard in the beginning to break into the industry because you win a contest, you think, oh my God, I'm just going to make it. And then you realize,
Yeah.
not going to make it. It is not
Yeah.
that easy. So they don't care. You're just one winner. Every year there are winners, so big
Yeah.
deal. You just join this pack of people trying to make it. So it was a lot of hard work. It gives you some
Hmm.
sort of a pedestal, but
Yeah.
it's nothing. It really has no
Yeah.
value in real life. So there was a lot of auditions, the style that went on those days.
Yeah.
Did a lot of that. And somewhere the break started coming. So I was chosen for a TV show, which was the representation of cats. So
Oh,
Charlie's Angels, sorry, it was called Cats. It was a representation of Charlie's Angels at that
okay.
time.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
That never took off though. But
Uh-huh.
that led me to get a movie. And then I was already like breaking into doing ads,
Oh,
and I
wow.
was already getting chosen to do runway.
Okay.
So very
Mm-hmm.
soon I started working for all the top designers, and then, like
Mm-hmm.
good ads were out there. And then very slowly, it just builds.
Yeah.
It took, I
Yeah.
think, a good year and a half of
Uh-huh.
crazy amounts of hard work, and I think a fair amount of good luck,
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
which doesn't matter. If your
Mm-hmm.
luck's bad, it really doesn't matter what you do. It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all those things falling into place together, the career took off. And but the constant issue was you keep feeling like an outsider.
Yes.
And I think in a way, it's those values have been
Mm-hmm.
great for me. And I stand by those values of, being brought up very grounded,
Mm-hmm.
of staying practical and realist and all of that. It's very good.
Yeah.
But in a field where maybe you need to be a bit of this lost case because,
Yeah.
it helps you get away with so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like there were movies that I was cast for, which when you go to meet the producer later a second time
Mm-hmm.
or a third time, and then suddenly you're being told you're not cast for it anymore, and you're like, why? And
Yeah.
then you find out, you walked in with so much confidence.
Oh,
And it's like, what does that mean? Like, how is that
that's
bad?
a thing. Yeah, that's a thing.
I walked in with so much confidence. They wanted a simpering
Mm.
girl. I don't know what the plan was for the future, but a
Yeah.
simpering girl who would be like, yes, sir, no, sir. And I like, all of that. And I walked in there and I shook their
Wow.
hand and I said, hi. So I had those days you had to have somebody called a secretary who's
Yeah.
technically like an agent.
Yeah.
Um, the guy was telling me, he's saying, please, next time, don't shake their hands. Just please, can you like do a namaste? Because it makes
Wow.
you look
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
simpering. I was like, are you crazy? I'm like, why the hell would I, what? And I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
putting forth this picture of who I am, which is this
Yeah.
simpering, cowering little girl. And then I have to stand my own. I don't have my mother following me into the
Yeah.
industry, like a cartload of people who are going to hang
Yeah.
around me. I said, it's
Yeah.
me. If I have to take care of myself, they've got to know
Yeah.
that I'm not somebody who's going to cower and allow
Hmm.
them things. And so then basically you don't get the movie.
Oh
So
my
there was a lot of that.
goodness.
Like I said, now it's how you look at life and how you can spin things. And I can really laugh. Like when I tell people these
Yeah.
stories, they are rolling on the floor laughing because
Yeah.
funny, but
Yeah.
it's also life. And now I have like, I know kids now who are still trying in the industry, and then they come back and they call you and say things like, I tried that. And then he said something. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's still going on.
Yeah,
So,
there's so much to navigate when you think about what you've been going through with contests, competitions, being judged by all these people, and being criticized for walking into a room and how you're walking in. Are you shaking their hand? Are you doing your namaste?
you don't know I mean, this is the Bollywood version,
Yeah.
right? The modeling version was great. Um, I don't like, I've always been an outlier simply because of
Hmm.
again, like I said, the way I think and the way I am.
Yeah.
But the beauty with the modeling industry is there
Hmm.
were other outliers like me.
Yeah.
There were
Yeah.
enough people. We all belonged out of the box, but
Hmm.
within that, we could create a box.
Yeah.
So my closest friends today, and we still have this gang, are we're all completely different from each other,
Hmm.
but we are girls who, your grounding or your value system, things like some things are still the same. And
Hmm.
that's how we all connected within the industry.
Hmm.
And, our journeys were different, but we all connected. And now my closest friends are still from the industry, and there are about six of them. And we're a
Yeah.
group that's just stuck together
That's
through and
great.
through. I have
Yeah.
one very close friend from
Yeah.
school, uni, and
Uh,
she's there still in my life like a rock.
uh,
Apart from her, this is my gang. And
yeah.
we were completely different people, and we are completely different backgrounds
Hmm.
and the way we grew up and everything. But like I said, you could be an outlier and you can still
Yeah.
find your people.
Yeah. Just
And
like the
that,
like-minded values you're saying. Like you guys had
yeah, and
like-minded values. Uh-huh.
and even some of them are not like when you would see two of us together, you'd be
Yeah.
like, what makes you people connect? And I'm like,
Hmm.
there's something deeper down sometimes. Sometimes it's on just a
Yeah.
basic in your face value system. But I feel that
Hmm.
you just have to be open-minded
Yeah.
and you have to be true to yourself.
Hmm.
And then you find your tribe,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially if you are in a place that has more people converging into it.
Hmm.
I mean, like I was lucky. I was in a field where like every day you worked with 100, 200 different people because there were
Hmm.
different models who would keep coming and going, and then
Hmm.
people would fly, and there'd be like production and cast and people
Yeah.
who like choreographed your show. It's sounds and lights. So when you meet so many different people,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
start finding people who gel with who you are.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the basis of that is you got to hold your own.
Yeah. Well, and then this idea of having this tribe, like these people that really value your true authentic self, do you feel like that helped you build your inner confidence? In because there were so many external factors coming your way. Like what like let you hold on to your own self-esteem like throughout this whole process? Because it could be so fragile when you think about all the,
Yeah.
comments
So
you were
there's,
getting.
yeah, it's a very good question
Yeah.
because um sure, the tribe helps you, right? Your
Hmm.
tribe helps. Your friends are
Yeah.
at that time literally your only support.
Yeah.
But for me, especially, and this is something I try and tell people I talk to, like when I talk to children, when I talk to my own daughter, it's something I keep saying that you will find friends,
Yeah.
you know, but there are always these off chances that you don't.
Hmm.
And especially in today's world with so much of the world is different. Like the way they
Yeah.
look at relationships, the
Hmm.
way today's teens connect with each other is very different than
That's
how
true. Yeah.
we used to.
Hmm.
Social media has really created this weirdness in
Yeah.
relationships that which we did not see growing up,
Hmm.
So I think we went the conventional way when it came to
Yeah.
friendships and stuff. For me, it was more time tested.
Hmm.
It's like something's going on in someone's life and you're there by chance maybe, but then how
Hmm.
much do you stand up for? What kind of a person are you? Are you the
Yeah.
person who will rat that person out, or will you stand
Mm.
by the person? Will you just
Yeah.
be support? So one of the things I learned long ago in life when I started working was zip your mouth. You
Hmm.
don't need to pass on anybody's stories to anybody.
Yeah.
Being a gossip, I hate gossip. I don't
Yeah.
gossip.
Hmm.
So my point was because I don't want myself to be talking about.
Hmm.
I mean, talking about, sorry,
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah.
I will not talk about you.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
So for me, life has always been two things. One is um, you have to treat people the way you want to be treated.
Hmm. Hmm.
And a very important thing is, like I said, you have to come in with a value system and stay true to it.
Yeah.
So it's it is self-esteem, maybe it's self-confidence, but
Mm.
it didn't come easy. And growing up, I really
Yeah.
when I you were talking about like
Yeah.
outer confidence and inner
Yeah.
confidence. Outer confidence, tremendous. Like I'm
Yeah.
like there.
Yeah.
Inner is one little jelly that is shaking, and that's for most of us, I
I
think.
know. Yeah. I was just gonna ask you, like, what do you, because we're both raising daughters. How are we helping them develop the values, or what do you
Oh
think is?
God, it's I feel like we talk and we talk to
Yeah.
them. I mean, I don't know about your
Yeah. Yeah.
situation,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I talk and I
Yes.
tell her. And then I realize two things. Either she's zoning me out because,
Hmm.
you're this voice that can put her to sleep in a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
wide awake at 2:30 a.m. And then
Uh-huh.
I start talking and she's like, and I'm like, what? There was information there. And she's
Yeah.
ah. So there's that.
Yes.
Or it's like, advice is coming from her and maybe I need to zone it out. So either way, either it's
Yeah.
zoned out or she thinks she needs to zone it out.
Yeah.
It's just, look, it's coming from me to her.
Uh-huh.
And as a parent, I think we're all taken for granted by our children.
Yeah.
We've done it, they're
Hmm.
doing it.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed. Social
Yeah.
media still many things, not this though. They still
Hmm.
take us for granted the way we took our parents. Um, but I just hope that
Yes. Yeah. I talk a lot too, so I will say that. And it's
I
about
just hope
everything.
that you're putting it
Yeah.
out there. And
Yes.
just day before yesterday, I looked at my daughter and I said, you know what, darling? You are purposely blocking me out. And I
Hmm.
know that. But I said, having said that, you will realize when you're suddenly older, one fine day, that Jesus Christ, my mother got through to me. She's
Yeah.
in my, like, I will be in your head. You see, I'll be in your head. And she looks at me and she rolls her eyes like, nice, two
That's
rolls and walks
so
off.
funny. Yeah. Well,
So,
and what do you do? Like, what do you say to her about beauty culture and, this whole Sephora kid culture that's happening? Is there
um,
advice that you give about this?
so, as you
Yeah.
know, we've
Yeah.
spoken about, I make my own skin products and it,
Yes. Tell
because
us more
it's in the
about that. Yes. Tell us more
yeah,
about.
so because it's in the space of, and again, I got into it for my
Mm-hmm.
own self,
Mm-hmm.
to clear my skin issues caused by excess product usage.
Yeah.
So I have lived the story of this as I started modeling, just with too many products
Mm-hmm.
causing skin issues, realizing that, the issue is the product. And by
Mm-hmm.
buying a different, more expensive product, I'm not going to be able to solve my problem.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the purge has to be complete and the
Yeah.
purge has to be from inside. Like
Mm-hmm.
you really have to purge it out. So
Yeah.
that's when I went off all traditional commercial products and I started
Mm-hmm.
making my own. And um, I mean, I think I spoke to you about it. It's been like 18, 20 years now that I've been making my own and I've been using my own. So in the
Amazing.
early days, I
Yeah.
would not tell the makeup people that I'm using my own because they would
Mm-hmm.
look at you immediately and say,
Mm-hmm.
you can't do it. And, my makeup will not stick on you. And like everybody
Yeah.
had to
Yeah.
do a little bit of power play those days.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wouldn't tell them. So I would be like, 1 minute, I got to
Yeah.
start with I just put my
Yeah.
own cream.
That's
Yeah.
smart.
So I
Yeah.
would quickly put it on,
Yeah.
massage it into my skin, and then come and sit in front of them and say, go on. And then they
Yeah.
would put whatever they wanted. The
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
thing I have never let them do after I figured this out was they come at you with the spray to like spray
Their
your face.
finishing spray. Yeah.
I'm like, don't touch me. I'm like, do not spray my face. Just start with whatever cream and whatever foundation you
Yes.
want to do. I'm like, don't
Yes.
spray it because I don't want the cream to come out. Like
Mm,
whatever I
okay.
have on my skin
Yeah.
as layer
Yeah.
one, I'm like, don't touch that.
Yeah.
So it's since then served me, and touch
Yeah.
wood, I've never had skin issues since.
Yeah.
Um, as life went on and more information started coming out about products, we started seeing
Hmm.
how many issues can exist in conventional products.
Yeah.
Um, and being a person who makes this and a person who truly believes in it,
Yes.
very hard to tell my daughter, oh, please go and just dive into a beauty
Yeah.
store and buy whatever you want. My daughter's
Yeah.
heard me from when she was as young as possible. She's never
Hmm.
used a conventional product. It's
Hmm.
always been things that I have made, right from
Hmm.
mosquito repellent
Wow.
to body oil. It's
Yeah.
always been her massage oil. Everything was what I made.
Yeah.
I sourced and I made. So
Hmm.
she's never used a conventional product. I keep
Wow.
telling
Yeah.
her time and again that, look, there is a lot of value to using clean products on your skin. And
Yes.
we never knew we were going to enter this age where children as young as 6 and 7 are going to be dashing off, spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars buying
Yeah.
skincare, which is
Yeah.
not even meant for them. Uh,
No. Yeah.
and it
It's
doesn't
ruining their
matter if
skin. Yeah.
yeah, it's like at 6 and 7. I mean,
Yeah.
you could stand in the sun and roll yourself in the mud and you will still look fabulous,
Yeah.
as you will at 15 and as you will
Mm-hmm.
as 20. And yes, some people end up with acne, but
Mm-hmm.
acne is again your skin purging,
Yeah.
and it's how if you block the pores,
Mm-hmm.
acne will happen.
Yeah.
And as and when the pores are cleaning, so many times one way to deal with acne is with
Mm-hmm.
using the right kind of oils,
Mm-hmm.
which tell your skin that, look, it's balancing out.
Yeah.
You don't need to push more and more oil out front.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
need more sebum. I don't need more oil. My skin doesn't need it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't need it. How do you tell them? You balance your own skin out. So balancing this will stop that. So I try and talk to my daughter and I try and
Yeah.
tell her
Yeah.
that these are the things, there's logic on why these things work. And then she's, of course, seeing my skin and
Mm-hmm.
how it's aging.
Mm-hmm.
um like when she looks at me and she goes, okay, your skin's holding up, and
Yeah.
I'm like, look, it's not
Yeah.
holding up. Like, I'm not doing Botox and
Really.
I'm not
Yeah.
doing
Yeah. It looks
treatments, and I
great.
am
Yeah.
aging. I can see I'm aging. I'm like, I'm going to touch 50 soon, and I said, if I
Mm-hmm.
touch 50, things will change. The
Mm-hmm.
bone structure changes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't suddenly look at me and go, oh, you look older. I'm like,
Yeah.
I will look older.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not nothing to do with the skin. It
Yeah.
has got to do with face and age. And I said, when I look 70, when I'm 70, the only one thing that will help, and I keep saying this, by the way,
Yeah.
if creams and products and stuff could reverse
Mm-hmm.
aging,
Yeah.
anti-wrinkle,
Mm-hmm.
anti-aging, like the biggest thing that sells out
Yes.
there, which is a whole lot
Everybody
of
wants
growth.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they're teaching kids as young as 15 and 16 about anti-aging. You don't want to age, you start doing this. I'm like, at 16, if you use anti-aging, at 22, you'll be using Botox. At 25,
Yeah.
you'll be doing surgery. At 30, you'll have very little of yourself left.
Yes.
And it,
Yeah.
it will not be a good self that you see in the
Mm-hmm.
mirror because it
Mm-mm.
can't work.
Yeah.
And all these products were to work. Something I've asked even on social media on my own page, what are all these celebrities with
Mm-hmm.
millions of dollars available to them
Yeah.
and their entire career, let's say, depends on how good they look?
Mm-hmm.
Why are these celebrities busy doing surgery?
Yeah.
Why is their face looking so different than it
Yeah.
did? Like, you
Yeah.
can see that these areas have
Mm-hmm.
changed, these areas have
Yeah.
changed. You put this up. You suddenly are looking at an actress and you're like, this is not what you look like
Yeah.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you look good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying no. I mean, you have Madonna and you have Nicole Kidman, and
Mm-hmm.
they're not looking bad, but they
Yeah.
don't look like themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the only way to continue to look young is if
Mm-hmm.
you do surgery. You have to go invasive.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise everything
Yeah.
is topical. You can do a
Yeah.
little amount of stuff and there will be a little change,
Yeah.
but it can't like drastically change you unless you
No.
cut in and change. So
And people are
then
doing
I'm
that. People
going,
are going to Korea and doing that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing, and like I
Yeah.
said, whatever rocks your boat is
I
good
know.
by me,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's not for me, it's for you. So
Yeah.
I guess when we are 60, I will look 60,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe I will look 50 because I
Mm-hmm.
use better products, but you may look 45.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference is that the 45 I want to look?
Mm-hmm.
Is
Yeah.
or do I have it in me to go through those kind of surgeries?
Yeah.
Is my sense of feeling good connected to that?
That's
These
the
are the
thing. Yeah.
questions that I keep trying
Mm-hmm.
to, and there are some of these questions are deeper and larger and maybe not for a young kid. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't question it. I mean, you don't ask the child like that, but
Yeah.
I keep telling her, I'm like, look at your skin at this age. If you cannot let your own skin talk for you,
Yeah.
if problems crop up, you solve the problem. But
Mm-hmm.
you really need for your skin to be so dependent on something else to prop it up that it forgets what it should be.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
then there will be a problem the day the product changes, or the day you go to a different place, or
Hmm.
stress affects, things will change. And then I
Yeah.
said, how do you then solve it?
Yeah.
So, and then
Yeah.
she sees the logic of her friends who are spending hundreds of dollars on products. And she's like, Mama, they don't go through anything. Like they go, how much can you then, if
Yeah. You
your whole
can.
sense of
Hmm.
feeling good, like the dopamine hit
That
the
you
children are
get.
getting
Yes. From the
is from
branding, the
shopping.
packaging, the pastels, the newest lip balm or gloss. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
shopping, it's
Yeah.
like the best dopamine hit. So if
Yes.
you're getting a
Yeah.
dopamine hit and you're getting it from shopping,
Hmm.
and you get this
Yeah.
feel good factor, you're like, oh my God, I bought this stuff. We all have it.
Hmm.
It's like if you're feeling low, you say, let's go shop for something, and you pick up something, or you get a
Yeah.
great deal on something. Hey, you could have spent $800 and come out with a top, or you could have gotten that $800 for like
Yeah.
$200, and you feel even better. You're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, that's such a good top. It's such a good price. And you're so excited, and that
Yeah.
like the hit is
Yeah.
even high. So suddenly you feel better about yourself. But are you going to wear the top? Are you going to wear? Is it good? Is it just something I got for
That's
$200?
the thing. And those are the conversations you want to have. It's like, how much time did you just spend going out? How much time, money, right? And for what? There's so many
And
other things you could be doing with that time.
the
Yeah.
main thing, like I say, is, and this is something again I learned over my life, is your sense of good,
Hmm.
feeling good about
Yeah.
yourself cannot be connected to an external factor.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's asking for a lot. It is asking for a lot out of children. It's asking for
Yeah.
a hell of a lot out of teenagers.
Yeah.
Their sense of feeling good about themselves is
Yes,
so dependent on the external factors,
it
peer
is.
pressure.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is what the industry has been making billions and billions of dollars out of.
Yeah.
Like the fashion industry today, I think the fashion and cosmetics industry, not fashion, I think the
Hmm.
skincare industry is roughly at 700 billion.
Oh my goodness.
And 700 million, sorry, not a billion, many
Hmm.
zero difference, but
Yeah.
still. But I'm like, where does it come from? It comes from them making you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
like it is not an uplifting strategy that's made you want to go buy. It's
Yeah.
a strategy that makes you feel inadequate.
Hmm.
And you hit a young child, a teenager,
And
people
they're
who are
vulnerable.
already,
Like if you think about puberty, you think about their bodies changing, you think about
so
feeling
imagine.
insecure. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
insecurity, they
Yeah.
have vulnerability. You hit them with
Mhm.
this very simple statement, you are inadequate. How will you be adequate? You need to go buy this.
Yeah.
So, Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah.
YouTube, they all have these people who are sitting there and telling you,
Hmm.
look, you want to look like me?
Yeah.
Uh, you don't look like me. Oh, you have a nose problem? I had a nose problem. The only way I fixed my nose problem is I did this thing. And if I do this thing, you will feel so much better. I got to go get that thing right now because I'm going to feel
Yeah.
better about myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's them playing onto your sense of
Yeah.
inadequacy, telling you you're not good enough.
Hmm.
And to be good enough, you do this. But hey,
Yeah.
guess what? Lifelong, you will never be good enough because the
Yeah.
day you start feeling good about yourself,
Hmm.
you will buy two less products. You'll buy 10 less products.
Hmm.
And I saw that like the day I could tell myself
Yeah.
that I am good enough.
Yeah.
Believe me, the
Yeah.
requirement for things around me to make
Yeah.
me feel good just dropped. And
Wow.
it just
Yeah.
literally dropped.
And
And
what,
I
like,
keep
was there
telling
something that
people,
happened? Like, how did you get there? How did you get to that point? And I know you talk about this idea of radical acceptance. So, how did you get
yeah.
to that? Yeah.
The reason I actually talk about radical acceptance is it has a lot to do again with my journey. Like I said, I started in a career which
Hmm.
is unexpected, was an
Yeah.
unexpected career, but it is also a career that um, was meant to um, uplift me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm a model.
Yeah.
I'm this glamour person.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Glamour that doesn't come easy to everybody. Glamour that literally, I mean, it's like maybe a percent or maybe
Hmm.
0.5% of a country's population will get to do what I did,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So everybody then looks up at you and goes, "Oh my God, you're
And
doing
everyone
that." And
wants to do it, right? It's like one of those things you
everybody wants to
aspire.
be
You're
in
like,
that
that
space.
would be great to do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And live
And
that
the other thing
lifestyle.
is,
Yeah.
it was not just that I am a model. I
Uh-huh.
made it to the top level of
Yeah.
modeling. I was considered her one of the supermodels. I was working with the best designers, the
Hmm.
best makeup artists. I had international makeup artists, like the
Wow.
best in the world, come
Yeah.
down and like they would do makeovers for us.
Wow.
You
Hmm.
know, and constantly being photographed. You're constantly being
Hmm.
told, "Oh my God, you look good,"
Yeah.
and that validation is
Hmm.
coming to you around you. It's like a
Yeah.
makeup artist will be working on you and go, "Jesus Christ, look at your face,"
Oh,
or you'll just
yeah.
hear that
Yeah.
as this.
Yeah.
I love her cheekbones. Look
Hmm.
at those eyebrows. Geez, how
Hmm.
does she do? You keep hearing this. And
Yeah.
it can build you, right? It can
Yeah.
make you feel
Yeah.
so full of yourself, and you
Yeah.
can literally, if anything, you can be
Hmm.
one.
Yeah.
Um, and I've seen this happen. People become self-centered narcissists because of this.
Yeah.
And it
You're on
does
a
happen.
high. Yeah.
Yeah, you're constantly on a high. And of course, unfortunately, that high also brings a very bad fall. So
Yes.
this is something I learned very early in life.
Hmm.
And I think this I give to my roots, my
Yeah.
parents who have consistently, no matter what, remained grounded.
Yeah.
It didn't matter to them that I was doing what I was doing. They still lead the most simple, basic life that they have led all their life.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Yeah.
it used to be a dichotomy because in one
Yeah.
moment you're talking with some king and queen of some city and you're having
Hmm.
these conversations. And
Hmm.
I was once in the what we were at a party at the Playboy Mansion,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm
You
living in
have
the
the,
mansion
yeah.
with like all these people, and there are these girls walking around, and I'm like, Christ Almighty, where are the clothes? But
Were your parents at this party? Or okay. I was like,
no,
oh my God, can you imagine?
no, never.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
they just stayed back.
Yeah.
They've continued to live in the same city that they used to live when I
Yeah.
started modeling.
Oh, that's great.
They've
Yeah.
just stayed so grounded. So it was this dichotomy of
Yeah.
seeing them stay that grounded and
Yes.
me
Yeah.
seeing what I saw. And somewhere it begins to balance you out. And I've
Hmm.
grown up again with those very basic, solid values, and
Yeah.
they help you ground because I always said that, look, you can build me up and I can build it, like I can rise. I
Yes.
am rising. I'm not saying
Hmm.
no to that. But if I'm at
Yeah.
that higher level
Yeah.
and the floor is a very slippery ice,
Hmm.
because today you are the best, tomorrow there'll be another person who is the best. And I've seen
Yeah.
this happen because I went and I took the jobs of people who were considered fabulous.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, that fabulous person and I stood for the same audition, but they chose me. And one thing that
Wow.
began to tell me very easily at that time, what I learned was
Hmm.
young age
Uh-huh.
makes a difference.
Oh.
Like the younger you are.
Yeah.
So I began to realize that there will be a shelf life,
Yes.
and
Uh-huh.
you can't become a person who thinks you are something so amazing that
Hmm.
tomorrow, if you're not, what, like, where are you? Are you
Yeah.
going to
What
go
happens
through
to you? What
a
happens to your worth?
crisis? Like,
Yeah.
can you just carry on with life?
Yeah.
And your sense of self and your sense of worth cannot be so attached to what people say about you, you
Mm.
know. So in a good way, I took the fact that I was in this fabulous industry and I
Yeah.
was getting constant validation
Hmm.
enough to tell myself that I am who I am
Hmm.
and this will change in
Yeah.
life. And I also saw like this the fleetingness of the industry because, like I said, when I started having skin trouble very early in the
Hmm.
career because of that excess of products or whatever.
Yeah.
So like I was getting my skin used to dry up and start flaking,
Oh,
and
yeah.
no amount of makeup could stick on it. So
Oh,
people, like, they are
that's tough.
floundering, I am floundering,
Yeah.
I'm buying the most expensive products, it's not
Hmm.
working. So I was at a cover shoot for a magazine, a big magazine. And the photographer just came and stopped. And the makeup artist has gone and spoken. The photographer just came, stopped, and said, "I'm sorry, Nethra, I can't shoot you."
Oh,
I'm like, "But
yeah.
there's Photoshop." He
Hmm.
says, "Yeah, but there's only that much Photoshop can correct." It's like, I can't correct
Yeah.
because he was also one of those guys who shot certain kind of pictures. He's like, "I don't use so much Photoshop. I cannot."
Yeah.
Later on in life, I did shoot with him for 3 other covers.
Hmm.
But at that time, to be so young in your
Yeah.
career and growing and suddenly being told, "I'm sorry,
Yeah.
put the bell. This won't work." And auditions where you stand next to some other people and they will literally look at you, and it's like
Yeah.
choosing. one tomato versus a different tomato,
Yeah.
saying, like you, like you. And I'm like, I'm also a human being. And they're like, shut
Mm-hmm.
up. Let's get the next person.
Yeah.
So this, this
Yes.
absolute fleeting sense of validation is something that I
Mm-hmm.
know. And when you take all this into play, all I told myself was, you've got to stay grounded. You've
Yeah.
got to accept that change happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it cannot be dependent on what others say of you.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea that I am good enough
Yeah.
is something you realize you've had it in your background. It's you've had
Yeah.
it in your mind all
Mm-hmm.
along. I am good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I may not be it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good enough. And I am
Yeah.
who I am. And that's how much of
Yeah.
me is there. Now, can you improve yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Of course you and this includes if people want to do plastic surgery because that makes them feel good about themselves,
Mm-hmm.
sure, plastic surgery. If it's just getting, I don't know, nails done, hair done, something
Mm-hmm.
done, do it. But
Yeah.
again, it can be to make you feel okay,
Yeah.
but it cannot be the thing that you're connected to continue to feel okay. At some point, you
Yeah.
say, I got it. I've done this.
Mm-hmm.
Is this making me feel great? Like I wanted to get bangs.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it would make me feel great. I went at some point, I got bangs. I did whatever else I had to do to get bangs
Yeah.
because you have to change like my kind of hair, I had
Oh,
to change
the
its
length.
texture and I
Yeah.
did everything. And I
Yeah.
got bangs and it looked
Yeah.
great. And at some point, I was like, yeah, okay, it looks great, but it's going to, like, I got bored of it.
Yeah.
And then I said,
Yeah.
what's the point? I
Yeah.
was sitting there going, I need bangs and I need bangs. I got bangs. Now I'm done. And I kept
Yeah.
seeing that in life, about myself. And I said, if that's how it's going to be, then you realize that validation is not what others give you.
Mm-hmm.
Validation is what you give yourself.
Yeah.
And the day you can do that, and it's bloody hard.
It
And the
is.
reason I say
Yeah.
radical acceptance is because it is an acceptance
Mm-hmm.
of what is in your life
Mm-hmm.
at such a base guttural level. And it
Yeah.
takes so much out of you to do that because we all build walls
Mm-hmm.
and we all hide behind things.
Yep.
You know, the day you're ready to drop that, and I'm not saying drop your walls which protect you
Mm-hmm.
from other people who might be, um, like I say, simply put, toxic to you, maybe.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have your protection and your walls against people,
Yeah.
not those.
Like your
But
boundaries,
then
but your
it's
guards.
your
Yeah.
boundary.
Yeah.
But then there is you against you.
Yeah.
That's all.
Uh-huh.
I'm not talking about
Uh,
putting up, keeping your boundaries going. No means no. And I don't mean no means no from a
mm-hmm.
girl to a boy kind of a
Mm-hmm.
perspective. I tell my daughter all the time, no means no. If you don't want to go to a party, you don't want
Yeah.
to go do something, you don't want to play with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
you say no. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
justify the no.
Yeah.
If it comes from inside and you say no, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's an entire sentence by itself. No.
Yeah.
And I keep trying to teach this to her. I'm like, say
Oh,
no
that's
and don't
great.
give an
Yeah.
explanation
Yeah.
behind the no.
Mm-hmm.
No. And I have had to work on it so much. I still give royally long explanations to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And I have a husband who looks at me from where saying, and I'm like,
I do that
just
too.
stop doing this.
Yeah.
I'm hoping my daughter gets it faster than
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
So again, coming back to
Uh-huh.
you to you, if you can be completely accepting of yourself,
Yeah.
your positives, your negatives, your
Yeah.
faults, your strengths, then there's nothing holding you back from
Yeah.
accepting yourself at such a
Mm-hmm.
deep level that
Mm-hmm.
you don't need anybody else's acceptance.
I like that. And I think for parents to
And
do that, yeah, to model that for
it's
their kids, yeah,
it starts with us.
it starts with
It
us.
starts with
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
because Arya sees it in me, my daughter sees it in me, that there are days she'll say something about this doesn't work. And I'm very open to saying, oh, this doesn't work, this looks bad. Because,
Yeah.
I'm still living in clothes that fit me 20 years ago. So
Mhm.
the styles have changed sometimes. So I'm like, this doesn't work. She goes, horrible. So like, oh, okay, fine. And I'm happy to go change. But
Yeah.
there are certain things when she'll say, that won't do. And I'm like, no, that will do. And she goes, that
Yeah.
won't do. I'm like, that will do. Because
Uh-huh.
certain things,
Uh-huh.
superficial things, sure,
Hmm.
can change, can, can pick up a new one, whatever.
Yeah.
But deep down, like certain things that, like, if I feel I don't need to do something to
Yeah.
feel good about myself, you can't make me change it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fall for that.
Hmm.
Like I look at her and go, I'm going to age. I'm like, there
Hmm.
will be wrinkles.
Yeah.
She's like, they're
Yeah.
still not coming. I said, but they will come, and they will be there. And
Yeah.
then I am working on myself also, right? Like
Yeah.
you're constantly working on yourself to accept yourself. So it's a constant process. As a
Yeah.
parent, we gotta do that.
Hmm.
And I don't know if we can always explain that situation to our children,
Hmm.
but I do feel that children start sensing it in you.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
when a very deep acceptance of self comes in,
Yeah.
um, which in a way means you really know yourself, which in a way means you know what you stand for.
Yeah.
One of the things that happened to me in life, like one of those days, like when I said,
Hmm.
this is who I am, this is how I am. And I literally, let's say I put this thing out in the universe that said,
Hmm.
I don't want people who are not 100% for
Hmm.
me. You
Yeah.
can be ambivalent towards me. That's okay.
Hmm.
Ambivalence is fine. Like, I'm not asking you to be my best friend and, like,
Yeah.
chase me and be my support system. No, you can just
Yeah.
be nice. You can just
Yeah.
be there. Or you
Yeah.
could be somebody who doesn't care about me. That's fine.
Hmm.
But don't be negative towards me.
Yeah.
The day, and I literally said, I just want people who are 100% for me around me.
Yeah.
The rest leave.
Hmm.
You will not believe the purge that happened. Like, I suddenly lost touch. Like, one by one, by one, by one, things started going out of my life. People started going out of my life. Friendships started ending. And then I realized that none of those people who left, or for whatever reason, and I'm not saying they left in a bad way. It was never a
Yeah.
fight. It was never a scream. And it was never a yell, scream. What do
Yeah.
you mean? None of that. Because
Hmm.
I'm a very peaceful, non-confrontational person.
Yeah.
It just happened. They moved countries. I moved countries, or you lost touch. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
or there was just
Hmm.
no reason to be in touch anymore.
Hmm.
And it just was beautiful because you realize that the clutter has gone from your life. And as the clutter exits life, you may or may not find your path. I think I'm still looking for my new
Hmm.
path, considering
Hmm.
where I live and what I do. But
Yeah.
you're at peace.
Yeah.
And the peace is worth a lot,
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
because like, this is something I
Uh-huh.
ask my child, and I think this
Mhm.
is something we can ask our children. I'm like, I keep asking her. I said, okay, so you want to get this water bottle, like the Stanley madness that went
Yeah.
around. I'm
That's
like, you want
another
to
one
get the
here
Stanley.
too. Yeah.
So I'm like, so what do you want the Stanley for? It
Uh-huh.
looks good. I said, yeah, but why? I want to drink water out of it. I'm like, if you drank water out of a different bottle, is it not water? So, you're having all these
Yes,
conversations.
yes.
I'm
We
like,
did not give in to the Stanley over here.
oh, we didn't know. We
But you got
didn't
to
give
pick your
in to the
battles.
Stanley.
You have to pick your battles. So
That is true. That is true. I totally will agree. So, there was like, but then before we gave in to her, she's
yeah.
like, this lecture I have to get something. I'm like, uh-huh. You need to understand
Yeah.
why. So I'm
Yes.
like, you want the Stanley? Yeah. I'm like, then what does it give you? It makes me feel good. All my friends have it. I said,
Mhm.
so, and then she's like, but then I'm happy. So then I look at her and go, but then the point is, I
Yeah.
am already happy.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
I'm already happy
That-
inside,
yeah.
I don't need the Stanley in my hand. I said,
Yeah.
in your case, you're still working towards the happy. I said, hence you need the
Yeah.
Stanley. Oh,
Yeah.
fine, get the Stanley, but realize that you're working towards happiness. And
Hmm.
that doesn't come because you're holding a Stanley in your hand.
Yeah.
And guess what? The Stanley's now moved on. Now they want an Owala. That's the
Yes,
next
the Awala. I have an Awala, so I will tell you that.
Yeah, so there I go. I was
And
looking at my
because we
girl
rode the Stanley wave for a long time, being like you're getting marketed to, and then there were some issues with Stanley with lead or something that was in it. And
Yeah,
so, so we were like, look, it's good that we waited. Look at the articles that came out, and then the Walla came, and then it was like, oh, well, now I didn't get the Stanley, so can I get the Walla?
yeah,
But I love how you described just the external factors and thinking through that, right? Because a lot of people say, I'll be happy when blank happened. I'll be happy when blank happened. And it is so fleeting
yeah.
that,
Blank will happen and you will be happy, but that's more of a dopamine hit, and
yeah.
blank will change.
And then you go back to wanting something
So
else.
again, you're
Yeah.
wanting to be happy depending on my thing is it's like this is again radical acceptance. I'm like, what is it that you want in life? Sure,
Yeah.
like I'm launching this business and I want it to be super successful. And
Yeah.
you want good health and you want you want the people you know to be well, you want your family to be
Hmm.
well, you want yourself to be well,
Yeah.
and you want them to be happy, and you want them to be successful. Your kids,
Hmm.
like Jesus, how much do we put, how much of our energy and our prayers we put towards,
Yeah.
your loved ones, and saying, please be well, be safe.
Yeah.
We do all that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and definitely anything happening in any of those spaces will
Hmm.
completely jolt and
Yeah.
will kill the happiness that we feel inside,
Hmm.
you know. But there's something deeper than that. And that's something that's even talked about in the, in Bhagavad Gita.
Hmm.
It's what Krishna says. He
Hmm.
says this thing about Maya. And we think about it on
Yeah.
a very superficial level, and you say, "Oh, Maya, it's this thing that Moh Maya, the whole idea that you are enamored by what is around you, and
Delusion, right? Yeah.
you're connected to people, and
Uh-huh.
you are connected to your child and your husband." But what Krishna
Mm-hmm.
says is even that is Maya. It's this, literally the only thing that exists in real life is
Yeah.
soul, and that soul
Yeah.
is technically independent of everything. And
Wow.
everything
Yeah.
is Maya. And
So all
that
your relationships, everything that you're living
everything
in
is
your
Maya.
life,
Krishna,
labels,
Bhagavad
relationships.
Gita
Yeah.
says, yeah, the Gita
Mhm.
says, separate yourself
Yeah.
to such an extent,
Hmm.
like such an extent that it's very hard to have
Yeah.
human relationships
Yeah.
because you are removed from everything.
Hmm.
It's like you're here on earth, but you're basically walking above, looking at yourself, and things are happening to this person,
Hmm.
but you're above.
That's great.
And
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
to an extent, I understand that, to a very limited
Hmm.
extent, because these are very deep
Yeah.
ideas
Yeah.
and they need immense mental growth.
Hmm.
And I think I have just like this teeny tiny dot of it. So, but I try, okay?
Yeah.
But have a child, and suddenly Maya, no Maya,
Yeah. Yeah.
everything, you're
Yeah. You are
crashing on
being
the ground,
tested. Yeah.
and you're like, I keep telling my husband, I said, pre-child, I was this free spirit.
Yeah.
Post-child, I'm one
Yeah.
bound by child.
Day in and day out. Yeah. Yeah. You're being tested.
Till
Yeah.
for as long as you live. Like
Yeah.
your child could be 40, 50, and you're still chasing that kid. You're
Yeah.
never going to stop
Yeah.
chasing and hoping and praying for that child's happiness,
Yes, it's so true. Because you know, it's why
you
my
know?
son is turning 18 and I'm reading a book about parenting adult children right now.
Okay. Yeah, he's an adult.
He's
Like,
basically an adult next year. And I'm like, how is this working? How do you parent someone that's an adult now? Yeah.
and how do you, like, it's a constant evolution for you as a mother,
It
right? Like,
is. It's like
to
new
give birth
scripts.
to a
Yeah.
child or adopt a child,
Yeah.
whatever. But the point
Mhm.
is that child has been your whole soul, your focus.
Yeah.
And then that child is his own person, which they are making abundantly clear to you since a very long time, that they
Yeah.
are their own person.
Yeah.
They still need you, and they still need you. And at some point, they actually just don't need you.
And then they're their own soul, like you just said. So,
They're their own soul.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then you realize that 18 is such a young age, and it's still such an age where they can
Hmm.
be so easily affected by people's thinking. They still get they still get pulled into, and
Yeah.
they can still be so easily tricked, and they still think so emotionally
So,
and
yeah, so impressionable, right? So,
impressionable. And
yeah.
thus the mother for the next 50, 60 years, never
Yeah.
ending, for however many ever years that you have. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a conversation, and it's a
Mm.
constant, to a large extent, I feel that I talk and my daughter, I don't know, like I said, I hope it's landing somewhere, but I think there is a lot of things that's a drone.
Yeah.
Some things are maybe too early for her to understand. Some things, um, I think she gets at a deeper level,
Yeah.
but she's trying to not get it.
Yeah.
She's
Well, she's
like,
getting,
where's the
she's in
fun
the
in
middle
that?
of the peers and then listening,
Where is the fun in that? Like yesterday,
Yeah.
when while our conversation started, and I said, really, we've had a Stanley
Mhm.
conversation, and she's like, but I could get the oval on. Would be okay. And because she's like, yeah, I get your whole
Yeah.
point about
Yeah.
happiness and everything, but can I just still get the
Yeah.
ovala,
Yeah.
please? Can I
Yeah.
just move on? So yeah,
Yeah. I
children are
know.
children. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Nathan, I want to thank you so much for this amazing conversation. And
Welcome.
yeah, and I know I
Thank
follow
you.
your social media and I really love your social media channel. And I'd love for the listeners to be able to connect with you. If you could tell us where to find and follow you to get more information, that would be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just my entire very long name. It's
Uh-huh.
Nethra Raghuraman is my handle. So it's
Okay.
Nethraghuraman.
Uh-huh.
Should write it down somewhere. Believe me, there's no one's going to get it otherwise. Um, yeah, it's just that. That's my handle on Instagram, and everything connects through that.
Yeah,
It's
and then
my
what
husband
about, do you have
that
any more
posts.
information or a website for Luxuriant Ventures, the new skincare line
There
that
is
you're
a
creating?
website with my name right now.
Okay.
There will be changes being made to that. It's active, but there will be
Okay.
changes to that as time goes by.
Okay.
Luxuriant Ventures, you can just look it up. You
Okay. And
know,
then I'm sure you'll post some updates on it, your Instagram once it's
yeah,
up
my
and
Instagram is
running.
the only thing that I'm again, social media and I are a little, we are working it out.
I was gonna say I love your channel. Can I just tell you, I think I saw something on the myths of micellar water and like that was
Yeah.
amazing for me because
Oh, thank you.
I was telling me here how everyone talks about it like it's this, amazing thing that takes off all this dirt from your face. Like, have you used it? You wash your face, but then you use it. And I've looked up the benefits of it online, but I've never looked up the criticisms of it until I saw your post. And so,
Amazing marketing.
hmm
That's what it is.
hmm
I mean,
yeah,
there's nothing micellar water can do that basic face wash can't.
yeah,
And I swear, I mean, I'm one of those who believes
hmm
that I wash my face with sometimes anything.
yeah,
The only thing I do is I don't wash it every day. I'm
hmm
not one who's scrubbing my face clean unless I have makeup
yeah,
or I have sunblock.
hmm
And unless I have these two things on my skin, just regular skin, I
yeah,
just splash water and it's enough.
yeah,
And that's something again I talk about on my page because your skin then again keeps a balanced sebum level.
hmm
And once in a few days, I use a scrub,
hmm
something that I make, but I use a
yeah,
scrub or
yeah,
a wash and it's enough.
yeah,
So there'll be enough products available for every problem we think we have and
yeah,
every problem they make you think they have.
yeah.
Because if they can't make you think you have problems, they're not going to
Mhm.
sell a product.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love what you're doing with that page because you're a role model for
Thank
everyone
you.
else, especially like not
Oh,
as in, you're a model, but you're not like doing all the Sephora product influencer, like get ready with me and let me use all my products. And here's my whole bag of products that I just bought. So you're
yeah.
definitely showing us how to be more minimalistic, to be more grounded.
That's
And
yeah,
yeah,
that's just that I believe in that. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, what I've realized is like I don't sell a tiny iota of something that I don't believe in.
hmm
I don't
yeah,
know how not to be 100% true to myself, but that's again because it's something I chose,
hmm
and it all comes down to what keeps you peaceful.
yeah. Wow,
So
this was such a great conversation, and I love how we were able to kind of follow your journey, how radical, acceptance showed up in your life, and how you navigated through all of that. I can't thank you enough for this
oh, thank
conversation.
you.
Yeah,
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for your time. And this is, yeah, it's great.
yeah. All right, and to our listeners, thank you for joining us on Brownish Parenting. Let's raise a generation that feels seen, heard, and whole, whether they're in front of the camera or just trying to find their place in the world. Thanks,
100%. Oh my
everyone.
God. Amen to that.
Yeah.